got off to a rough start against Texans, fell behind 24-0, but then scored 28 in the second quarter. Is that a concern? Do you think that's a continual coaching point for Andy Reid? Guys, we don't want to do that again.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. They want to get off to faster starts, and that was really an issue all of 2019. I mean, they had some slower starts that they're just not accustomed to with this offense. The postseason, all three games they fell down behind by double digits, and were able to come back. So on one side, this team has complete confidence that if they were to fall behind in another deficit like Cleveland put Pittsburgh in the other night, they absolutely believe that they can come back from that, but they don't want to. They want to go out and set the tone early, and it's going to be key to Mahomes to doing that. Sometimes Mahomes has been known to come out in big games a little bit overkeyed and a little bit overhyped, and I think that overheated, and I think that's a little bit of why they have gotten off to some slow starts offensively. How quickly he kind of settles in and gets into a rhythm, going to go a long way to seeing how the Chiefs really get going in this game.
When you look at that Chiefs offense, what do you see that you get a sense, boy, they're clicking and it's going to be a good game when you're looking at that Chiefs offense?
Yeah, if you see Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce getting into the flow of the game early, don't see any drops, see this team come out and do one of their patented drives where they come down the field, drive 75 yards, and they can do it different ways. And I think that's the key, is even though the Chiefs want to get off to a fast start, they don't necessarily feel the need to get off to a quick start. This is a team that can come out and certainly go 75 yards in 5 plays in 2 minutes. But increasingly, they want to be able to give their defense some rest. And I think that's certainly going to be a key against the Browns, since they're going to be up against a punishing test through both Baker Mayfield and that running back combo. They want to hold on to the football. So I certainly think that the Chiefs would be fine coming out and running some 4-6 minute drives, plodding down the field. They can do that. I mean, as high powered as this offense is, they've proven that they can play at different speeds. And I think that's the key. They want to get off to a fast start. It doesn't have to be quick, but they want to be able to hold on to the football. And I think in this game in particular, I think it's going to be really key. I think they would like to win time of possession to make sure that they're keeping that Browns defense on the field and keeping the Browns offense off the field.
And when you talk about time of possession with the Chiefs, it's usually the short passing game that almost like the extended handoffs that get their fast, skilled position or big bruising guys like Kelce in one-on-one situations. Is that accurate to say that's what they like to do?
Yeah, it is certainly what they like to do. Absolutely, Patrick Mahomes is going to take deep shots. But a big part of it is just set up through the short passing game. And you're right, a lot of that is, an extension of their run game. Andy Reid always loves to get the screen game involved. He's obviously added, the jet sweeps and the push passes, the shovel passes. He'll do a lot of different things to get his wide receivers and tight ends the ball in space to let them make plays. But one thing this season in particular is that it'll be interesting to see how the Browns approach it. Teams have been coming out and really only bringing 3 or 4, trying to keep Mahomes in the pocket and rush them with just 3 or 4 guys, but dropping 7 to 8 back so that they can take away the deep end of the field, force Mahomes to take those short passes. And that's where the quick outs, the Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce being able to find space in the middle, even a healthy Sammy Watkins is really key, because he can really do some of the dirty work underneath that they need. That's what the Chiefs have to do to beat some of these coverages that they've been seeing. It'll be really interesting to see how the Browns decide to attack that offense, because if they do that, if they really go light on going after the passer and drop 7 or 8 back, that's really putting it on Mahomes to take advantage of that short passing game and takes away that deep ball that he loves.
The thing is it almost seems to me like, and I've seen a fair amount of the Chiefs in their national games, it seems like when they hit big plays, it's almost like a basketball mentality. The chunk plays just seem to snowball, and they just get into a rhythm, and it seems like they get one and they want another, and everybody wants to get involved. Have you seen that? Because I know you follow them game in, game out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely part of their MO. And, it starts with a guy like Tyreek Hill, who, I think, the cross-sports metaphor is good, because Andy Reid's always liked to call Tyreek Hill, said he would be a great center fielder. His ability to track deep balls is just uncanny. It's something you can't teach. It's just innate. He has it, and you've seen other guys be able to get involved too. McCole Hardman's got ridiculous speed, so he can get behind defenders. And sometimes the Chiefs will miss combinations on that one. He's not as good as a ball tracker as Hill is, but he's got the speed to be able to get open. And when you have to give so much attention to Travis Kelce underneath, that's going to lead to some deep balls. And Patrick Mahomes, one of his real specialties is being able to identify the free play. He's had really good time this year being able to get defenses to jump off sides, get the flag, and then take his shot deep. And that's something you just absolutely have to watch for. You can't jump off sides against Mahomes. And if you do, you've got to know that he is going to take that deep shot.
He's done a really nice job for a younger quarterback at taking care of the ball, especially earlier in the year. I think the last couple of games, weeks 15 and 16, he might have had a couple of interceptions. Before that, it was like 1 or 2 all year. How good has he been at taking care of the ball? Because this Browns defense needs to turn the ball over really to be successful. They're not really built to shut a team down.
Yeah, I mean, it's really been remarkable how he has been able to avoid the turnover to the most part, most of his career. I mean, I think he had 12 interceptions as a rookie, and it just continued to go down since then. Certainly a part of it is just that, he has great recognition ability. I mean, he can seem to find what receiver is going to be the guy in single coverage and make the read pre-snap and go that direction. He's also got a great ability to be able to look off receivers. I mean, you've seen the no-look passes. When you get those kinds of things that he can do, it makes it really difficult for defenders to key on where the ball is going and be able to jump routes. Now, he's going to be known to put the ball into tight windows. So that's where you got to try and take advantage of it, is that when he does try and shove the ball into a spot where it's tight, you got to be able to make that play. The one thing that stands out to me, for instance, from what the Steelers and the Browns game, is that it's going to be difficult to knock the ball down at the line of scrimmage. Mahomes is not afraid to get out of the pocket. I think the Chiefs will do some of those kind of things that move him around to get him outside, so he'll have a little bit more of a free passing lane. When he's got that and he gets in rhythm with his receivers, yeah, it's really tough to get the ball away from Mahomes.